Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
We've got the hurricane party coming up around the corner.
We do.
It's on May 18th, of course, in Sanford. Drinkatwestend.com. And to talk about the hurricane party, we've got Dom and Paul in. How's it going, guys?
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, we got the Sanford 2 here. We have on the line with us right now a special guest because I feel like normally Dom plays, I think, Rockstar.
Yeah.
But I feel like Dom was he deferring to a bigger rock star?
I don't know.
I don't want to start a fight. I don't want to start a fight or anything.
Start a fight.
But on the line with us right now, and we did an event, and then after one of our events, this band played at the West End, and they're going to be at the hurricane party. It's from the band Authority Zero. It's Jason DeVore. How you doing, man?
I'm really good, guys. How you doing, man?
Good.
Hey, just
good. I'm looking
to be
forward
clear,
to-
I'm way bigger of the rock star. Jason's way skinnier than I am.
Dude, Dan's trying to start some punk East Coast West Coast drama right
I was
now.
trying to start a little.
He's not even in the West Coast. He's in the desert.
what I
the
want-
desert versus the.
Okay, hold on.
Arizona versus.
Okay, Tupac, tell us what you think.
I wanted a
gonna say,
little
start
bit
some
of.
Biggie shit.
I wanted Drake. I wanted the whole Drake Kendrick Lamar thing that's been happening. I mean, that's a
speed
big.
there. I don't know what I've been seeing things, but I don't know what actually happened.
Basically, they went back and forth a bunch of times, and the way it's standing right now is Kendrick Lamar says Drake's a pedophile, and everybody's like, might be. That's what I think happened. That's what I think. That's
think
where
they
we're
should
at.
break
Call him
dance
a
fight.
pedophile?
Oh, yeah, and then to the point where now the rumor is that the music groups have called a special Zoom meeting of everybody
Ooh.
involved and said, yo, you better tell everybody he's not a pedophile because it's hurting the bottom line. It's called the Subway. That's called the Subway.
Yeah,
All right, this
they
question.
should
why you
breakdance
come out
fight
to the
for sure.
hurricane party.
Breakdance fight.
All right, well, I got to ask Jason and Dom a question. And maybe Paul can weigh in because Paul's had many encounter with a lot of different punk rock bands.
Oh, yeah.
All right, who's the biggest D-head in all the scene? As far as the worst reputation
Of the
for
punk scene?
in punk rock, as far as like hard to work with, is just like the whole band's a D-head.
Oh, yeah.
There's got to be
You're going right for the rat people out and throw them under the bus thing, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure there's some band that doesn't tour anymore. That
Yeah.
because
I kind of felt like for
Hey,
a
which
minute.
band is a dick to you so much to where you want to call them out so they're an even worse dick to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll do it. One of the bands when I was in a band, one of the bands that was so mean to my band, and there were a bunch of old guys, and they're even older now, was Molly Hatchet. I hate everyone for
Hatchet?
Molly Hatchet. I was just an opener, and then they wouldn't even let us backstage to get any drinks. We couldn't get any food.
Okay.
Those guys are a-holes.
I've got a better question that's easier to answer.
Okay.
Because just like I'm a fan of NoFX, and Fat Mike has always been perceived in my mind, never
Yes.
met him, as a D-head, right? Now, but I don't know if that's just the perception of how he comes off, or
Right.
like from the
or
stores,
if he
whatever.
wants people to believe that
Or
because it's
m-
better for the tail.
And maybe, because it's always more punk rock to kind
Sure.
of be a D-head,
Yeah.
it is. But maybe he's nice as hell to everybody he works with, and they're like, oh, he's a nice guy.
It
But
doesn't seem like that, though, does
So
it?
That's
it's-
exactly who you're describing Dom right now.
Yeah. Well, Dom's super nice to me, but
I know, but like
the perception is
well, that's his staged persona.
Yeah. Because it's better
Yeah.
for punk
Don't
rock.
listen to these guys. You guys, don't jerk.
yes,
Yeah.
So what say you, Jason?
Yeah. Is there who comes off like a D
And you
their
can't say
punk
Dom.
rock
He's already
character?
off the table.
Yeah,
But
I'm off the table.
Is,
I mean, I honestly have one guy. He's not in the punk rock scene, but he's in a band that I toured with probably like 12 years ago. But they're still a band, so I'm not going to say whose it is.
I bet I know. I bet I know who it is. It's Jelly
saying
Roll.
I've had that experience, and it was a pretty crappy one. You can't believe the audacity of people in that situation when you're all kind of under the same roof.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jay,
It was
Jay, what
Jelly
about
Roll. It was Jelly Roll, and he asked to use my preparation wipes. And I
Jay,
told him
what
no.
about
I said,
Fatty?
those are mine. Those are mine.
what about Fat Mike though? I know you've hung out with him at least more than I have.
I've known Fatty. Yeah, I've known Fatty throughout the years, man. We've done a lot of cool stuff together. I mean, we did the Rock Against Bush compilation way back in the day, and I just always had good conversations with him. There have been moments on tour where, he seems to be a different person for sure. There's no doubt about that. And I was like, wait a second, didn't we just talk about the thing and things were cool a second ago?
Right.
So it was situational things, but all around he's a cool dude, man. All straight up, he's been he's cool. I mean, given like his longevity too, and like all the stuff he's had to
That's
deal
cool.
with or been a part of, I guess,
feel like
throughout the years.
All my run-ins with him
I think
too.
he's
He's
done a
been
pretty
always
good job.
super nice. But I feel like whenever I seen him, I'm just like,
Yeah, I think a lot of people
Well-
do that, right? Because of also,
Right.
again, going back to the word Jason used, the longevity of being able to do that for as long as he has is extremely impressive.
Well, also, do you think it's
Yeah.
too when someone is more business minded or like
That's what they have a tour manager for. They're always the turds.
Well, but sometimes like just being more business. It comes off like a D head sometimes because if everybody's hanging out and the friends and all of a sudden you switch
Okay.
to business, people are like, "Oh, what's this guy's
see,
problem?"
now that
Hands
that
down.
is more like what my problem
Hands
is.
down, the biggest D-bag I've ever dealt with.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the story of what happened,
All
and
right,
then I'm
all
gonna
right.
tell you who it was.
Oh, okay.
All right. So they land at the airport. I send my guy down to pick him up in my expedition. They roll up in my expedition, park at West End. They all get out of the car, walk off, left the doors open, and made
Oh, that's what my
made
daughter
my
does.
guy walk around and shut all the
My
doors.
daughter does that. My daughter will get out of
Sure.
the car.
I like
Your daughter's
that.
a child,
Yeah,
and so do my
she'll
kids do
get
that.
out of the car and
So,
leave the door
these were
just
grown
wide
men.
open.
These are grown men.
Yeah.
It was Bubba Sparks.
Oh, Bubba Sparks.
I mean,
Man,
No, not Bubba.
it was like I was sitting there with my mouth wide open, like.
that is kind of I do appreciate that move though.
Now it does
We
seem
just
more
walk
rapper.
around.
It does seem more rapper to do that, right?
It does.
It
Maybe
does
they
seem-
thought they had somebody coming out behind them.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to do
That's-
that if it were an Uber.
Yeah,
If somebody
yeah.
else is getting in, you just leave it open to fill it back up.
I'm gonna start doing that in my truck every day. Just
And then the
get out with-
nicest dude I've ever hung out with was Lazy Bone.
Oh,
wow.
We stayed up drinking 40s till like 9 o'clock in the morning, and then he looked at me and he goes, "Hey man, I like you. You want to trade hats?"
Hold on. You drank 40s with Lazy Bone all night, and then you wanted to trade hats.
I want to
again?
trade hats with somebody. I want to trade hats with somebody.
Like a jersey at the end of a football game. You're
great.
like, this has been a good conversation. Let's trade hats.
His hat said fresh.
Did you trade with him?
Yeah, it's a fresh ass hat, man. What kind of hat did you give him? A Westie hat?
Yeah, it was a West End hat.
Right on. I wonder if it's still.
He actually bartended for a little while. He was making Sunshine State bombs. I got pictures of it. It's hilarious.
You should have wait, like he was living in Sanford and bartending in the West End,
No,
or just
like
for the night?
the night of his show, he just after the show, he was like just having fun. He got back behind the bar and he was making drinks.
Oh my God,
It
he's
was
like
hilarious.
raps Bill Murray. He's
He
they're
was,
just
he
like
was a
having,
totally cool dude.
having a good time.
Jason, I got a question for you. Because
Hey, what's up, man?
you've
Yeah,
been
did you forget he was here?
No. Well, I just thought of this, and Dom can answer this too. But from
Well, which is it? You just said Jason, and he was happy to have the question.
Jason.
And he goes, "Hey, I'm still here." Then you're like, "Well, hold on, I don't want to make Dom mad. I'll give it to Dom too."
Dom's being a little quiet today. I got really, really high before I came here.
You
Imagine
always
that.
do. You always
didn't have to
do.
tell
I just woke up. I'm like 3 hours behind you, dude. So I just woke up and rolled out of bed myself. So I'm kind of on the low myself. But so hit me, dude. What you
So, Jason, from touring for so many years, is there anything that you refuse to do nowadays compared to what you used to do, let's say, 15 years ago,
Well, if you're
whatever?
Cat Williams, it's dressed like a woman, right?
Well, just like certain standards, you're like, no,
I'm not
if
doing that.
if they don't have this and this, I'm not doing
Yeah.
it. Or
Clearly Canadian and hot Cheetos.
Oh no, not at all, man. I mean, honestly, I'm not being like the I don't care guy, but I don't care as far as like it's all the same. I mean, we're still in the van ourselves, you know. This 30 years later this year, so it's like it's all fun. You get used to it all, and it's just part of the program. And honestly, it's like if you get your rider, some days you do. If you don't, some days you don't. If you get buyouts, you choke out the people that didn't give you the buyouts and try and get the money. It's just kind of the standard, you know, and I'm sure Dom can attest to this too. It's
Whatever,
different everywhere
dude.
go.
You better.
When you're not,
Me and you are way different, Road Dog. I don't even. I'm like, wait a minute. If I don't get my M&Ms, I'm out of here.
I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show, but Dom was the D head I was talking about.
I was like, listen, if you guys don't provide the donkey I asked for, then nope. Sorry, bruh.
Yeah.
Legit on their rider, it says that they want a donkey.
Oh, a
I
donkey.
remember the first
And
time I got his rider, I was like,
I will
"Come
tell
on,
you
man."
this. Shout out to Kevin Little. One time he actually provided the donkey. All right.
Really?
Hold
on.
Shout out to Dr. Kevin Little.
Hold on. There's a donkey
There's
on
only
your
one
right.
show that Dom has had his dream of having sex with a donkey.
It says
only
on
one
our
show,
writer.
all the other ones.
On a writer, and I quote, it says, a donkey with a background in show business.
A showbiz donkey.
What's the reason? Is it the old like?
Okay, the
just to
reason
see if
is
they saw it?
these guys. What these guys do is they want to see how soft you are if you're going to go ahead and go the extra mile. For it.
Exactly.
So they know how to take
Hold
advantage
on,
of you.
but no
Right.
one can really provide a
Okay,
donkey.
so here's the thing, right?
You
Supervillains,
can.
like supervillains, since our inception, everything about us has not ever been serious. Like we
Yes.
just go out there and we literally are the embodiment of what I thought punk rock was, and that's just to be silly and stupid the whole time.
Well,
Yeah,
wasn't
so-
the point of the silly rider thing to make sure that the promoter was paying attention?
Yes.
We literally, since the time that we were, we had a writer because we were starting to get more professional in all this. We put dumb s on there, bro. We put weed on there.
Yeah. So
I mean-
you just like take the rider as the venue guy. You take the rider and say, well, I can do these things,
Sure.
but like I'm not going to get you a donkey, man. Do you really
And
need a
I will,
donkey?
and I will tell you this: that
Yeah,
every
I think
time
it's a
that
joke.
I've ever been involved in that part of the transaction of like, oh well, here's the drinks, this and that, but we couldn't get you the donkey.
Yeah, they do the same
Right.
joke
They,
every
they laugh at you,
Yeah,
and then you
exactly.
laugh. It would be, at
Exactly.
some point, it'd be embarrassing. And you're like, don't worry about the donkey part. We put that in there when we were young.
Yeah.
You know, Jason, is it true that you are having a hard time printing flyers? I read that on your social media.
Having a hard time printing flyers?
Yeah, like you were
I have no problem.
asking people to put flyers out. Like I just thought it was funny. He was like, "Hey, I'm
Oh.
trying to get some of these flyers made so I can put them up places," and I'm like, "That still works, doesn't it? Like the flyers are still a thing."
Dude, I do grassroots. Oh yeah, I do grassroots all day. I think there's something to be said about that still. I mean, it's the classic move back
Yeah.
when we were, coming up and everything. And people, the internet, again, it's like it's sure people see it, but that stuff is so fast that nobody cares. And it's like they swipe right past it, and unless there's like a reminder on it, it's out of their memory bank. And if it's not that day, so it's like I like to stick up flyers still. Like
I agree.
when I play venues around
I
town,
think flyers
it's
are
like people
back
see
because
that.
he's right. Like we
There's
are
some
being trained to
psychology.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's like vinyl, man. It's like it's just going back to the classics, and people want that stuff nowadays to be tangible. I think, and it really helps. It does help seal the deal, like in their heads with when the date's going on, when the show's going on, and with the flyers. Yeah, that I had some friends. So the place I'm playing next weekend is probably it's only like 20 miles from me.
Yeah.
But I know I got buddies over there that come to my shows. I'm like, hey, anybody want to do this for me?
I thought that was really cool, by the way. Like when I saw that, I was like, this is really cool because like I've noticed even around town and here that like bands are going backwards and doing more flyers, and they're putting more time and effort into their flyers in trying to make them
telling you,
look.
dude.
They're trying to make them look beautiful.
Yeah.
So you'll like
Yeah, dude.
collect them or hang them up again. Like we're the pendulum swinging backwards now because so much of the
Bro, I'm telling
digital
you.
flyers, the 20-second videos, that's just scroll trash now. It's just scroll trash.
Yeah.
We do the exact same thing at the
totally is,
venue.
man.
We make sure we print them on good paper, and at the end of shows, 95% of the time, people are asking for
Yeah,
posters
they want
at
them.
the end of the night.
People want them now.
Yeah,
It's funny
I know.
because
Yeah.
it's cheap art for your house. It's a way for you to tribal and tribe out and connect with your.
I have a sick Authority Zero poster at my house, bro.
Oh, I bet. I bet. You know this guy.
I don't even got a Second 40 poster at my house.
What has it been, Jason? Probably like 15, probably plus 15 years, probably.
It's been like 15, 20 years, dude.
It's
yeah,
been a
it's
long,
road
long
for
time.
you and I.
Yeah, for sure.
You and I have known each other quite a minute.
Yes, absolutely.
So what was the year?
And dude, leading back to the Flyers one more time to touch on that before we move forward.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like out in Europe, like I think it was 2 years ago. I just realized like they're huge on like sticking the flyers, the posters all over the freaking city. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen them or not, but it's like just blasted. The entire city is like littered in flyers and posters, and that's kind of what made it click for me. I was like, dude, what happened
Jason,
to this?
I
This
saw
is
something.
brilliant.
I saw something really cool. I was in Colorado last weekend, and in Denver, and they had these flyers that were like on the ground, like they were pasted to the sidewalk. Like you really had to scrape them up. I hadn't seen those before, but they were like really good advertising tool. And I sent it to Dom, and it was just like awesome. I don't know if you've seen those out west, but I haven't seen those around here at all.
You tried to pry it up?
Yeah.
I tried to pry it up. It's really tough.
That's what I'm telling you. Like same idea out there in Europe. Yeah, it was like it's almost like old school graffiti tagger style.
It does look like someone painted it on the ground, but it's just a something very tacky flyer.
Yeah, I think and then they have the paint too, and I know they did this for. What was the band? It was a country band that came into town. I want to say it was like Jason Aldean or something. Ugh. And he came into town, but it was like some sort of like stencil, and then they spray paint it, and it stays for like a certain amount of time, and then I guess it washes away. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just spray paint. I don't know. But
I don't know.
Okay, I have a random question for you guys, and this may be stupid, just because the nature of punk rock.
Yeah.
But you brought up working with Fat Mike, the Bush, like anti-Bush era of punk rock, and obviously punk rock's always skewed liberal, you could say.
Well, typically we get our best punk rock when we have a conservative government. There used to be an equation to it. You can look it up and see, but
it doesn't make any much sense. But
when Trump's in office, when Bush is in office, your punk guys are going to go a little nuttier and have a little bit more to balk at.
But now,
maybe now it's everybody.
Right.
But now,
traditionally it was that way.
But in 2024,
it's almost good for business.
Yeah, I think now it's you just bitch about everything because everything's so messed up.
Think about it. There's got to be tons of punk rock guys, even from the 90s. Like I grew up 90s punk rock, right? Yeah. And even then, now,
tell by your smoker's call.
Now I'm 42. There's got to be tons of 90s punk rock guys or in their 50s that are probably conservative, still like punk rock, right?
Yeah,
But just because of their age, they're conservative. Is there any conservative punk rock bands that you could think of that are politically
yeah, you got
conservative?
Those blue collar guys for sure.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
They're not like, I don't think they're like blue collar guys, but I don't think they promote like hate or anything like that.
No, I'm just saying,
your typical.
They're more like working man, and I'm not giving you my fair share.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I work for mine, you work for yours. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. That's very hardcore.
But they're not like racist or
No.
hate gay people or trans people.
They're mad at the system nowadays for the right reasons, because of the fact that they have actual 9-to-5 jobs, and they're actually within that bracket of people that are working hard, and like I say, the blue collar people that have more reason to complain and actually have more of a foundation to their argument, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, because you
may have
traditionally
on, all of them.
Well, traditionally it was always anti-authority, anti-government, which was traditionally a conservative thing. It's like small government, get the government out of my business. Yeah. Like my pop-up was always hated the government and didn't want the government. They wanted the government to leave him alone.
Yeah, but he liked rules and genders.
But it's like
I hate the government, but I like rules and genders. I'm sorry, I'm a weirdo.
Yeah. But there better not be a man in that woman's bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they get mad about stuff like that.
That's the tax break.
So how many bands this year at
Oh, dude, I got the list here.
So,
I got 23 on my list.
Yeah, we're at 23. I was going to say 25 and make it sound cooler, but thanks, Daniel.
My bad. There's 25. 2 of them fell off my list. I spelled Mountain Dew on it. I can't read it.
Actually, for the DJs we have, it is 25 acts. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, but tons. Let me see if I can.
25 acts. We got, we have Fortunate Youth coming.
Yep.
We've got the Slackers.
Yep.
We've got, of course, Authority Zero.
Pie Tasters.
The Pie Tasters.
Black Joe Lewis and the Honey
Supervillains.
Bears.
Oh, yeah, we got the Supervillains for 2 sets.
Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles.
Yes. That's hard to say.
The Satanic Ska Band.
I haven't
seen
seen
that video.
I haven't seen those guys in forever. I mean, you brought back all my ska favorites.
That's this year for sure. Super ska heavy.
Definitely a lot of the bands that I used to have to go to places like Jacksonville to see at the Milk Bar,
right?
And little tiny hole in the wall ska.
We had Jason do acoustic. I believe that was last year, right, Jason?
I think 2
years
years ago.
That was last year. That was fun, man.
Yeah. So this year we of course had to have Authority Zero come to the full band.
Nice.
And then Pie Tasters, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get them, but I got them, and I was stoked to have them. And Slackers finally are making their way to Sanford.
Love Slackers.
So,
Dom is killing it, man.
Thanks, bro.
Jason, I got a question for you.
I
was asking Daniel about this the other day because I've been running a lot. I've been listening to a lot of Lagwagon while I run. Just because I'm stuck in my high school era, and I listen to bands I listen to in high school.
Punk is a very good choice, I feel.
Yeah. And then my buddy told me that he's like, oh, did you hear the guys from Lagwagon aren't doing so well financially or whatever? And I was like, oh, I was sad to hear that. And then, but I don't know. Obviously, I don't know anybody else's business, but is that
because we're in punk bands?
Is it what happened?
It's because we're in punk bands. What do you want?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to me, I guess it's just subjective because
well, you think of Lagwagon as being like one of the, they're going to be way high up there on the punk rock royalty, list, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're.
Do they grind as much as they used to, Jason? Do you know they do a lot of touring still?
They do touring a lot too. I mean, I know RKL just did some shows too, so I know they're also kind of getting back to the roots of that, with them getting that group back together. But I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen them cross paths with them a few times out on the road. I don't know if it's super heavy or not, but they're definitely out there still doing it.
That is legit a great excuse every day of our lives, though. It's like, man, why is money so tight? Because we're playing punk rock music. We're not a cover band playing top 40. I mean, what do you want? It's like,
yeah, it's legit.
We can either play the music we like and be broke, or we could be in a cover band and hate our lives.
But you don't think about that. Like, you don't think about the guitar player had a lot of health issues or had back issues or, and then you get medical bills and then because you're no different than anybody else.
Well, this used to happen in radio, like where people like heard you on the radio and just assumed you were rich because of it. I was like, no, radio doesn't pay.
People assume that like they'll hear we're broadcasting, so like obviously we're loaded.
We're Howard Stern rich. Yes, exactly. Yes, absolutely.
Not that kind of rich.
Yeah, the minute you're not on radio is the time the band broke up and they never heard of you ever again.
Sure.
And they're like, you guys still playing? You're like, I've been grinding 3 times as hard.
Right. Yeah.
But Jason, with a band like Authority Zero, you guys have been playing for decades. You amassed
celebrating 30 years.
Like I think everybody who's been in the punk rock scene at all or liked punk rock, like have heard of Authority Zero.
Definitely.
Like, is there other ways to make money that they're not thinking besides touring that is legitimate? Like, is there a good merch like? I mean, the average, for you guys,
Zero Gear. You didn't go to the website. It's called Zero Gear.
Do you guys make a decent amount of merch regularly? How does that work? Like, I was fascinated with the business side. Or is it primarily all touring?
Yeah, merch. I mean, if you're not touring, you're not making really any money. I mean, the music, unfortunately, is taking a side table to it, and a lot of times you want to put a new record out because for one, you have songs you want to record and put out, but for two, it gives you more purpose to go out and promote your album, to get on tour, to try and get some heads in the seats and get people to pick up some T-shirts and get your pick up the tangible items again, because that is really that's how bands make a living these days. If we're not touring, we're all doing our side job stuff, or I'm doing solo gigs around town.
Dude, you crush those solo gigs too. You're busy with those things constantly. I love watching that you're out there just constantly grinding, and you don't.
But most of my buddies that are like that I see that are or other guys that are like Jason that are like in a successful punk band. If I'm just being honest, most of the ones I follow do side gigs.
Absolutely,
they have to because
it's a constant hustle, dude. It's a constant grind, or whatever you want to say.
I think that's why I have so much respect for my punk musician friends, is because you see it. You're like, oh my god, this is hard.
It's called diversifying. You have to diversify because sometimes one of your aspects of whatever you're doing might be a little slow. Like, I mean, for example, for Jason too, man. Like, I don't do anywhere near what he does or never have really. Like, he is consistently on the road, consistently busy, gone from his house. And I got to imagine that once in a while you just want to sit at home and just take a shower and sit on your own toilet.
Wander into a radio show with your buddy.
For sure.
Exactly. It does get to the point, man. Like, you think about that, and like then you have that one day off. Like, today is my actual day off, kind of. And I'm like, I just feel like I need to be doing something, because you get in that programmed mind of like, okay, I'm wasting time. What can I get done today? That like I'm leaving on tour for the whole summer, and I have like X amount of days left to get like set amount of things done. I should be working on art right now. I should be, planning a booking another show or whatever you want to say. But it is, man. It becomes a lifestyle completely, and it consumes you. And
I've been working on the disconnect so much lately, especially because, man, I'm just crazy about my wife, and I just like. It's so hard to turn everything off and just stare at my wife and be like, just like off and in the moment.
You mean not work?
Humble brag. No one's really that
I like
crazy.
my wife, Tom.
I too have been working on being gay.
I like my wife, boys. Sorry.
Yeah, I too was polishing my vagina last night. Okay.
Yeah. Every time I'm with my wife, I'm like, how can this never end?
Let's all turn our phones off and stare at each other's eyes.
Just
we're in love. We're in love.
I'm just imagining how it used to be I mean, for Jason, like literally, he's got to be away from his life consistently all the time. It just gets very old. And gets
Every
very
time I hear my wife calling at me, I'm like, I wish this alarm was playing in my head 24/7.
If only I could turn off my phone so I could hear her crow louder.
Jason, we'll give you a big old hug when you get to Sanford, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm only home about a quarter of the year, so.
Jason, appreciate the time, man. We're really looking forward to seeing you at the Hurricane Party, and thanks as always for being a guest, man. We love talking to you.
Absolutely.
Love you,
guys
buddy.
Too, man. I'm super fired up. All the guys are super fired up. Love you too, Dom. And you guys take care. I'll see you in a week.
Yes,
All
sir.
right,
Safe travels, man. Safe travels. Be good. That is Jason from the band Authority Zero.
You know, I only asked that lagwagon question just because for whatever reason in my mind.
You forgot we were talking to Jason from Authority Zero?
No.
Talking to Joey Cape from Lagwagon?
No, because I was.
No, I know you know.
Because in my mind, in high school, Lagwagon was one of the biggest punk rock bands, and then,
we're worried about him. We've heard some things.
And then I was like, oh, well, for sure you could just parlay that popularity from so many people around the world knowing your name to a successful.
I mean, you could.
Life. Well, I don't know if I could or not.
No, you could.
I
You're
just thought
obsessed with it right now, and it's not even your band.
I thought anybody could just take like the notoriety and make it into money, but it's like
Paul could.
without that,
the
just
business
a constant
guys
grind.
in here. I don't know if you like enjoy business. I'm assuming you do because you'd like. So I would say you three could. I don't know if I could.
Yeah,
I'm
not
not
everybody's cut
I'm
out
not
for it,
good
yeah.
at doing the businessy aspects. How much business would I have going for Tom and Dan if it were just. If I were left to come here during the day and work on the businessy stuff, right? Think about that.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing for a long
It'd be
long
pretty
time.
bad.
Yeah.
On the Dan side of things, like so, if you put me in the Joey Cape role,
Yeah.
I could write you a song. I can make some really good music for you. I'm not sure I could sell that music.
Well, I mean, just like I
or-
was saying again too, like after a while, man, it gets monotonous being out there, man. It gets like I just kind of want to slow down a little bit and not have to do that all the time.
Yeah, the touring is,
understand.
I mean,
get it.
after 10 years of like
Oh, yeah.
steady, you're just like, I mean, or I guess maybe if you're a single dude and you don't have any kids or a family at home.
It's funny in
know?
life when something that you do that you love to do so much, if you do it so much, you finally go, oh man, this is like a job now. That's the whole. That's what drinking was for me.
Yeah.
I had the realization one day. I was like, it's like work when I do this now. Like I have to stop doing this.
Yeah. Because and
Speaking of which, I got to get you guys out of here because I got to go to work.
Oh, speaking of drinking, I brought you guys some Swamp Foot.
oh yes.
That is our
Delicious Danger Brain Swamp Foot.
That
with
is
West End Trading
it's our
Company.
collaboration beer. It's
Yeah,
a
look at
green
that.
tea Kolsch, by the way.
So we got.
look at that.
This is Danger Brain 1010 and West End Trading Company.
That's right.
That is a beautiful beer right there, buddy. Hold on. I'll
it
put
is a very
can.
cool label on it.
Yeah. So Danger Brain did a awesome job branding this. So and 1010 does a great job making beer. So this is available at West End currently.
That's right.
It is.
Exclusively at West End, and apparently we have 3 more different kinds of beers coming out with.
We do. We have a whole line coming out.
Oh, nice.
So
Awesome.
That's killer, y'all.
So, and when you're at West End, order a Swamp Foot. Take a picture, put it on, any social media.
Who's going to be the first person to get the tattoo of the Swamp Alligator Man?
Oh
That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
I vote you.
Yeah, that is a cool character.
Yeah, that would be a cool tattoo. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's like an angry. He kind of looks like Paul going to push over a food truck.
Exactly.
that was in Paul's drinking years.
yeah, I could talk about
He
that.
said he's not like that
he's
anymore.
not- yeah, he's a different guy now. Now he's Little League. He's buying the pizzas, right? Like
Push over a food truck. Just yanked an individual out of a
just
food truck.
move it back
Yeah.
and forth a little bit.
I almost just spit out spit. That was
sorry.
pretty funny,
I'm
man.
sorry.
Well, well, you
Because it does look like that very much so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it
angry.
does.
He's like, what the hell? The Amish pretzel truck parked next to the other one. Get
Those
the hell-
people are saints, actually.
Yeah, the Amish pretzel
Oh,
truck
man,
people.
they're-
I always use their name because it's the only one that sticks in my brain.
again.
Delicious pretzels.
Saturday, May 18th, Hurricane Party. Get your tickets. Drink at westend.com.
Yes, sir.
Hey, next week I've got Dan Kelly from Fortunate Youth calling you guys.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Perfect.
So holler at your boy.
We can ask him about Lagwagon.
Yes.
Like, what's going on with
You
Lagwagon?
can probably ask Dan Kelly
We'll
about.
get to the bottom of it.
I thought that
No.
maybe circulating,
I'm
circulating
glad you-
around the rumors,
I'm
and
glad
people
you
are like,
asked.
"Oh, this is what the truth is."
I'm glad you
because
asked.
I'm hearing it from my buddy who's just a fan. I'm like, he's getting it from forums or
I'm
whatever.
gonna ask
Like,
about.
you know?
Let's ask about like completely random things.
You could ask
Like,
Dan Kelly, like, how many 17-pound joints have you ever
I'm
smoked in
gonna
your
go,
life?
Dan Kelly.
17
What do you
pounds.
think is the typical day in prison for Jared from Subway? What do you
How
think
many?
he does?
In reggae, how many people are dicks and which one are they?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah,
Tell us about your
tell
friends
us
that
which
you
one.
hate.
Was it Lee Scratch Perry?
Yeah.
I bet that guy is a real a-hole.
Yeah. During
God
interviews,
bless his soul.
I always
R.I.P.
think of like,
R.I.P.
what are the questions no one wants me to ask?
And then you look right at Paul.
and then I ask those.
Which guys in your band would you say don't wash their hands after they urinate? Okay.
Who leaves streaks? Who's got the stickiest doo-doo?
If you could kick one member of your band out, which one would it be?
Yeah.
I know it's Scart. And you laugh too hard
Or
about
as
it.
he's known, on the streets, smart.
Smart. Oh, that was
Did you
epic.
see that?
Yeah.
I did. I sent it straight to him. I was laughing so hard.
I don't get like look, that kind of stuff. You know, it's not. I have no dog in the fight, right? I just scroll it. I saw that and I had to stop. I would stop what I was doing and laugh out loud at that.
Yeah, it's
I was
really
like, that's
good.
the greatest thing ever. Smart.
I immediately pictured him as a Smurf too.
I don't know why that's so funny to me. Okay. All right, we gotta get out of here.
All
Right?
right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
Yeah, that was funny, dude.
Corporate time.
That was
That was
perfect.
super fun, y'all.
Thank you guys. That was
Yeah, that was
perfect.
good.
Oh no problem. That was our pleasure. Where's that goatee?
This can be Friday 1,
Beautiful.
and then we'll just come back
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
and do a small one.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
That was super fun, y'all.
you.
Fist bumps right here.
Are you going back or
Fist
what?
bumps, fist bumps.
Yeah. I gotta make one stop, and then I got a haircut.
Oh,
I got
My
a
beard is,
couple of
my neck hair is driving me crazy. I can't wait to get a haircut.
I got a couple of
getting all zhuzhed up.
things to do real quick, and then I'll be right back there.
All right, I'm gonna pee and I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys. I'm gonna start that group text with mine.
Yes, sir. We'll make it happen.
You guys have like guest lists or anything for Hurricane Party? Let me know.
Okay. Yeah. And then I'll try to reach out sooner rather than later on Monday for Wednesday, so we're not having to.
Sounds good.
'Cause,
I'll get you a bio quickly too and all that.
Yeah, it's all good. I can usually pull one up pretty quickly too. But thanks again for setting that up, man.
No worries. I appreciate you guys doing it. It's helping me out like tremendous.
He's so nice.
All right,
Such a nice dude.
We'll see you guys later on.
Yes,
We'll see ya.
sir. All right. 10, 24. That is 30. Got that saved. Yeah, I would get that as a tattoo too. It's great art, and I want an alligator tattoo. I just remember I told you guys I was done with tattoos because they hurt so fucking bad. So I was thinking, I'm gonna move these again. We can have these here.
All right.
I'll see you guys soon.
Yes, sir.
I did.
See you, Paul. Okay, perfect. You want to do this 10 real fast? I've got voicemails. Yeah, I used that Charles on my last one, and it didn't. It only lasted for about 45 minutes, and then the other 6 hours were painful. All right, voicemails. Here we go. Bring us back, please.
Oh, and there
Yes.
was. I wrote it down.
You get, I didn't have the time, but I know we have
No,
that.
I wrote down. I was like one. Hold on. Where's the hell?
It was in the first minute.
Yeah,
right?
1 minute 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
He said shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 1 minute 20 seconds. Shit.
Shit. Thank you, sir.
It probably was drowned out, but he did say it.
Friday 1. All right, thank you. I just want to make the note on the actual file.
No, that needs edit.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Coming back. And 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
Voicemails. If you would like to leave us a voicemail message, couple ways to do that. You can call 1-844-TOMNDAN. TOMNDAN. That's Tom N. Dan. You can leave a voicemail message that way, or you can use our app, totally free app. Everything on it, all of our ACT content, BDM shows, Friday free shows, all of our clients are on there. If you want to interact with almost anything regarding the show, the app is probably the easiest way to do it. All right, let's start with this one right here.
What's up, Tom and Dan? Only like 9:30 at night, and I'm on my one wheel, so this message is for Tom. You ever just like go out, one wheel, get a little shot, you know? My favorite thing in the world. Let me know.
You ever go out on your one wheel in the middle of the night, like with a cold beer or something, or maybe take a toot of your...
No, I tend to not do anything by myself.
Okay.
Weird like that. Like I need other people around me to have fun.
Okay,
or
yeah.
I need them to have fun so I can know that fun is happening.
What I've noticed is that you realize that, and you say that to people, and then people get mad at that. And I don't think that's really fair, because you're saying... I don't
just
really
telling you
have
the
fun.
truth.
Right. That's what I am. Look, have you noticed that I don't get mad about that? But if there were other people in here, and you said that, people would be like, they'd be giving you the stink face.
Yeah, because
I think I've known you long enough to know that when you're saying this, it's not like you're saying it to, like, people are like, you don't want to just go out by yourself and just like have some you time, and you're like, no, I do not. And it makes people mad.
Like I like being by myself, obviously, every once in a while, and I'm like, but
For masturbation purposes.
But
that's about it.
That's the only reason. Yeah.
If you said that, that's
Other
completely
than that,
fine with
if
me.
I'm
That's
not doing
fine with
that,
me.
then I'm like, well, what's
Where
everybody
is
doing
everybody?
here now? Like I want to, like I ride my one wheel all the time, but
I'm done masturbating. Where is everybody?
my family's there. Like I'll go out with my kids, and then I'll ride my one wheel. I did it the other day. We rode up to Wawa. Like our new thing is to I'll have the boys run, and then I'll one
Wait,
wheel.
this is what Richard Hatch did because his son was fat.
Yeah.
So you think your sons are fat, so you make them run behind your one wheel? Oh, you're going to jail.
No,
you're
no.
a horrible monster.
I just want them to exercise. So,
you guys are doughy.
Yeah.
You need to be tough like your old man.
and I'll one
Dude,
wheel
a kid
because
just died doing this. A dad kept putting him on the treadmill, and he fell, and he got all the bruising. Oh, man, you're a monster. You're a monster.
What are you putting him on the tread? He fell down. Kids
Multiple
fall down.
times. Multiple times. And
No,
then
no.
it injured him. It was bruising. It was a horrible story. You're just like him.
But I would never just ride my one wheel by myself.
Yes, you
for
would.
just fun.
To get White Claw. Back when you were drinking, you get on that one wheel, you'd break neck to get some wine.
I still do that, but that's for utility. I'm using it for travel. I'll use it for travel to get from point A to point B, but I'm just like cruising around just for fun.
It's not a thing.
I need to go somewhere, or I'm with my family.
So the only
or,
cruising for fun you do is on a purposeful trek.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm going to 7-Eleven,
You enjoy it.
I'll do some carving back and forth.
Yeah,
Like,
I know you,
Yeah, like
drop it low, and sidewalk surf a little bit. Hey, everybody. It's Castleberry Kelly Slater. Castleberry Slater's carving up the sidewalk.
I'll go back and forth, get aggressive. I'll change the mode to aggressive mode.
Put it on ludicrous.
Or the one you got me has got all these
put
different...
it on the ludicrous mode. It'll blow your toes off.
Yeah. So, but...
You haven't even used all the features I got you.
No, I haven't used all the
Oh,
features.
yeah. Mine, I think the one I got you has smoke. It has a oil slick smoke.
Yeah, it could do so much more than I actually use.
Yeah.
And
I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. Like I get a lot of enjoyment out of listeners knowing that the one wheel I got you is fancy and that you know nothing about it, and it makes them mad, so it makes me happy.
Yeah.
It makes me happy that they're like, you don't even know what to do with that, and you're like, what? And I don't know why that gives me so much enjoyment.
Butler was texting me the other day, and I was bragging to him that I have the GT.
Yeah.
And
he's like, well, what can it do? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
it does a lot,
Yeah.
but I have never changed the mode one time.
Say, don't you worry
I haven't
about
even checked the tire pressure.
All right, let's try this voicemail here.
Hey, boys. I hope everybody's doing great. It's your friend Summer. I was just listening to last week's ACT episode entitled Throw and Blow. And when Deb pulls out all of the spicy novels, it made me want to chime in. There has been a huge push lately for women to reading dark romance novels, and it's become a huge thing. I've been reading quite a bit lately, and my algorithm on TikTok is now transformed into quote-unquote book talk, where they talk all about the spice and the sexiness and the things that
Vampire ding dong.
I guess women can't or won't or are too afraid to ask their partner to do with them in bed. And so I just wanted to
Wolfman beehole.
say it's not just the fact that our like grandmas and our moms were horny reading these books, but we are horny. We're horny now, and we're reading these horny books and listening to
Man, that vampire got a boner.
How horny are you?
Tell us how horny you are.
Also,
What are you wearing?
Are women afraid to ask their husbands
To dress up like a vampire?
no, like to do something?
Yes. Like your wife's not going to ask you that because you're going to be embarrassed. How embarrassing would it be if your wife said, "Hey, I'd really like it if you'd read this vampire book to me and pretend to be blah blah."
No,
blah,
I'm just
blah.
not going to ask that.
I'm going to disrobe you now.
No,
blah.
but like if Crystal
Ooh,
asked,
my.
whatever Crystal
Blah,
asked me
blah.
to do in the bedroom,
You could not
I'll
pretend
do.
to be a vampire. No.
No,
you could not do it.
that's stupid. I'm
Well,
saying
that's what
that's what they want.
No, but that's what Summer says, that some women do want the role play aspects of a spicy, supernatural, dark romance novel. Dark romance meaning, I was making jokes, but I'm not making jokes. I'm guarantee that I could write these. It's the vampire. Do you want to live forever? I'll take you along. You can live with me in my castle. We'll live for 1,000 years. I'll take you away from your normal life. I'll bite your neck and you'll feel the ecstasy. Boners for everyone. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, well, that's all.
Easy breezy. I got to write these in my sleep. Me and AI, I can crush this.
That's the problem because women are all emotional. You're asking.
I'm
for,
all emotional. I'm not a woman. I'm close. I'm very close.
But you're asking for emotional things instead of like, I want utility acts.
Well,
like I want
utility. I want you to put these long blue fingernails on, and I want you to scratch my ass.
I can do that. See,
Yeah, but that sucks all the. Yeah, but that sucks out. No, but there's
just scratch my ass
But
with
it's
the
not,
long
we're not
claws.
building a porch here. We're not re-roofing a house. The emotional attachment there.
Well, see, that's what I want. Like, see, men want, like, I want you to stomp them. Like, you know
No,
what I'm saying?
I don't do that.
And then you
I
put
don't
them
do
out
that.
and they stomp them. And then so it's a very, you know,
put them
here's
out
the
and you
act.
stomp. It's not. It's not an execution.
No, I'm saying, but that's what men want. Men want,
No,
like,
not all men want that. That's not fair. It's all in the spectrum.
They like, I want you to slap me. I want you to peg me. I want you to stomp it. I want you to tie me up.
Some guys want to be humiliated.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
of them, I want
you
you to tell me how disgusting and fat I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
and how small it is.
So I've seen this online. I want you to come home from a date and then push it out.
Oh my god. That one I haven't seen. I haven't seen that one.
That's
You're on
about,
you got a different
that's an
algorithm.
I don't know why that's in
you're,
there.
you're purposeful.
Yeah. Tell me about your date and push it out.
Yeah, I don't have any of that.
Anyway, so see, but that's the problem.
The new
like,
one I've been
like
getting.
I want you to be,
The new one I'm getting is hippie.
romantic like this vampire. I'm like, oh God, I just can't. I scratch your ass
with these blue fingernails.
Yeah, well, scratching good. Like, you just, tell me to do something that I can do. Anyway.
Well, maybe the idea would be, but I don't think this would work. So the idea, based on what you're saying, is that Crystal, your wife, would give you the task. So the task is put these blue fingernails on and scratch my ass.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to know that she gave you the orders, but then in her mind, she's going to be like, ooh, is that a vampire behind me scratching my butt? You see what I'm saying? Like, she's going to have to pretend like she didn't just...
God.
No, but you won't be able to do that because you're just doing a task. You see what I'm saying? There's no creativity, there's no imagination in this because you just want to like, I'll put these every morning. I get up, I put in my blue fingernails, and I get to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's
And
that
so,
I understand.
So she's gonna have to. One of you is gonna have to give, meaning she's gonna have to be like, well, I know it's a task to him, so I'm going to give him the task. Here's your fingernails. Scratch the butt. But I'm going to pretend like you're a vampire.
I'll put on a cape.
Okay. But will you
can't-
do a voice? And will you role play? See, that's where we got to get past that. We got to get past the, is this just a task?
I'll give you a good. You like the scratching? Well,
No, that's not what vampires say. You're going to be like, blah, blah.
All right. Well, no, I can do a blog. Whatever.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Give me a script. Just give me something to read.
So if I wrote you a vampire script, you could execute it?
Yeah, I just need specific instructions, and I don't need like, hey, I want you to be romantic like this vampire.
How's your vampire small talk? See, you don't do any of this stuff.
Well, I know everything I know about vampires from that movie. What was that movie? There was a temple involved, and Cheech Marin was in it.
You're talking
Selma Hayek was
You're
on.
talking about Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn.
The show Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
That's all I know about vampires.
We got to get out of here.
Okay,
It's
all
probably a good thing.
All right. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Awesome. I'll save this. What's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks so much for coming in. Let me save this file, and I'll come be nice and not stuck in my tiny little cave in here. Make yourselves at home, please.
All right, cool. Well, we don't have too big of a couch. We got 3 mics. We can interchange people, but so whatever you guys want. Whoever wants to talk the most or whatever, we can just.
Yeah, we're easy. We can.
Put them on the mic.
Let me move this stuff around.
Yeah, we got all the information, and we're going to air this tomorrow, so that people have time, obviously, to hear it before Friday show. And
I'm Dan. Good to see you guys.
How are you?
Good to see you. I'm a little sweaty because I'm in the performance. What's up? Good to see you.
Primarily Friday,
Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Any of this is yours if you want it. So if you need water, bathrooms down here to the right area. Well, I did try to make it like a bodega. That's exactly we put the racks.
We want to.
Where'd you get that shirt? My wife got me this. I want to say at the what's the place where they discount all the stuff? Yes, at the discount area. So yeah, it's like it gets a lot of love. My daughter's room is all Lordsburg. So. But yeah, so we've got 3 main seats here that we can put you guys on.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, pull this. Thank you, buddy. And I make sure the air is down. Okay, how you been?
I've been good. I've been really busy.
Yeah, well, it
Which
looks
is
like
nice.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
busy is good. Oh, these are so great. I'm not good at my flip. My wife is good. She has the, what is the one she has? The fuck it, it's Florida. One like, it's like, God, who got it for her? This is gonna drive me crazy. I don't know if she's in the chat room, but these are fantastic. God, she's wearing a wire.
I've got a video somewhere of me teaching my mother how to thwack a fan.
I am not good at it. I think it's because
She is now.
my hands are too small.
I got little baby hands too.
I can't do it. Is that gonna work for you guys? Is that too tight?
No, we're good.
All right, we'll make it work. I got all the mics on now though. So, if you want headphones, great. If you don't, I'm still gonna make you sound good, so it's not a big deal. And then we'll make you hear a little bit better, but I'll try to keep that on too, so everybody can hear. And then yeah, we should be good to go. Now, do you know who everybody is, or should we? Let's give a check.
Okay.
I want to get it right.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know Ginger.
Yeah.
And then where's my list?
Gidget galore.
Yep.
Yeah, Gidget. Divine.
This is
Everybody's
better
in
for him.
order.
He's-
Yeah, you guys sat in order. It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, you gotta get the pros here. You get the pros here. This is what you get. Oh my God! All right, we're a little frazzled today. I apologize.
Oh, so are we. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were loading in, right?
Mhm.
That's a lot of work,
Come on, kid.
especially with the set that you guys are using. I'm sure. All right, Mr. Van, would you like to begin?
Oh, hold on. The one thing, the Claremont Performing Arts Center website. You guys know it off the top of your head?
No.
Oh, let me
I've never seen us.
see.
Claremont Performing Arts.com.
Oh, okay. I had it.
You can also just send it to goldengalslive.com.
Okay, that's perfect. Oh, that's easier.
Oh yeah, please make yourself at home. All right. Getting like mustache sweat. I can get that off.
You're
my-
working hard.
Not really. I'm just sitting there making fart
Your lips
jokes.
are working hard. There you go.
Fart joke. It's the you drink poison caffeine, you heat yourself up. Do you want me to snag that, or do you have it?
I
Did you
got
get
it. Yeah. We're just gonna promote goldengalslive.com.
All right, that works. Okay, Mr. Van, here we go. Why don't you? Where are we putting this?
This is gonna be Thursday 1.
Great. Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
We're super excited to have the entire cast.
Yeah, this
of
is huge, man.
Golden Gals Live. They're going to be performing at the Claremont Performing Arts Center this weekend for Mother's Day weekend on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can get your tickets at goldengalslive.com.
Also, like a little tour, right? Aren't you guys like? There's more shows planned, I think.
Oh
right?
yeah, we've been on tour
Yeah.
for the last month or so. We're home for this week, and then we go right back out again.
And you just heard Ginger Minge
Yes.
on the show again. We also have Gidget Galore, Divine Grace, and Mr. Miss Adrian on the couch with us. How's everybody doing?
Doing
Great, packed in tight.
The Mr.
Yeah,
Miss
no, yeah.
Adrian name is the best name I've ever heard. That's
Oh,
such
wow.
That is just
Okay.
such a damn good name. God, that's a good name.
But you cannot believe how many people mispronounce it. It's always
Not even
Mr. and Mrs.
It's just they just completely make up their own names.
No, really.
Yeah,
12 years later, I'm just used to it.
Well,
yeah, I'm sure. He's like me. I've been called everything, and especially with my height, they'll just call me the little guy. Just the little guy. That's acceptable.
Ginger, let's talk about Golden Gals Live. So tell us about the premise. When did you come up with it, and a little about the show.
So it actually all started on a drunken Taco Tuesday, like most good
All right.
ideas.
Okay.
Gidget and I have been best friends. This is 21 years for us right now. We started drag together.
Congrats.
And have been working together ever since then. Divine, ever since she moved from New York City to Orlando.
I am completing a court-appointed community service obligation.
All right.
All right.
And then Mr. and Miss Adrian right down here on the end is much like the real Golden Girls, the youngest of our cast playing the oldest. She plays Sophia. And you know, every friend group, everybody goes, oh, I'm the Blanche, I'm the Dorothy, I'm the Rose. And of course we did that for years. And then one night while we're eating tacos and drinking way too much wine from the Lake Ridge Winery that had been provided for free, we said, you know what, we got 2 weeks, let's just do it. Let's just put it up.
Yeah.
We didn't think anybody was going to come to see it. We did it at the Parliament House.
Yeah.
We're like, this is for us. It sold out in less than 24 hours. We ended up extending, and then it just kept extending for over a year at the Parliament House. We branched into doing some other classic sitcoms. We did Roseanne. We did Gilligan's Island. A couple other things. The Munsters.
Okay.
But this is the one that we keep coming back to because we love these women, you know, and it's never our goal to make fun of them. We always celebrate them.
Yeah.
But in a really, really... So, of course, it's grown. We've gone on tour. We've done all these things. Last year, we got to headline the Golden Girls Convention, where it had all of the producers and the writers and the directors from the original series.
Too. Like,
Yeah.
that scared the S out of me, man. Like, it's such a huge show, and when we found out that we could get you guys in here, I freaked out because I was telling Tom that, like, there's certain music from that show. Like, here, I even loaded, I think I loaded one up because, like, I can sing this.
Iconic.
Yeah, just come.
Beautiful.
You know what? We're just gonna give you a microphone.
Our live Foley artist.
As a young boy, I would fly in from the bath. And like I was like the frickin' Golden Girls were on, and they made so many jokes that were inappropriate, so many things that pushed the limit for the time. Yeah. Stanley was the absolute best and worst character of any sitcom. What a hunk of crap that guy was! It was just a good. It's just
So-
like it.
Well,
it's
and,
Andy
but
Griffith.
that's good character development though,
Yeah.
because he can be the most awful person in the world
Yeah.
and then just flip it on a dime and be so sweet and so sincere. And you can see why Dorothy fell in love with him 40 years ago.
And he'd almost get her back like all the time, and I'd be like, "This guy's gonna do it. He's gonna get her again."
And then he gets it his own way.
Yeah.
And that runs rampant in our show. So we got to meet with the head show writer. We had like a little sit down with him,
Wow.
and he said, I've seen so many drag versions of this on stage, and none of them get it right. He said, but you guys, you really seem to understand that the formula is taking these 4 older women, putting them together, and then making them tell a bunch of dirty jokes. And they were. He said it's basically a frat house full of old ladies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that formula has really worked for us. And this new script is the funniest one we've done so far, and nobody has seen it yet, which is really exciting.
There you go.
So, like,
But you can see it if you get your tickets.
Let's talk about Golden Girls for a second, because I feel like if I describe this to my sons, like, this show was hugely popular, and it was about 4 old ladies that lived together in a house in Miami, and there were 3 of them were widows, one of them was divorced, and they all lived together. Which, by the way, as I was doing research, I was like, this is an idea it's weird that society doesn't do this now, because there's lots of old ladies that are widows or divorced or whatever. They should live together as roommates in a house.
No,
and
live
no one
alone
does
sad.
it.
Live alone sad.
Seriously, no one,
with nobody.
Yeah, I don't
nobody,
know.
Your kids, nobody visits you. Just live alone.
I don't know anybody who
with
does
the lights
this.
off.
And the Golden Girls are so popular, you would think that would spawn a lot of like older ladies to think about doing this, and no one's done
My
it.
mom lived in a
Well, it
4,000. My mom lived in a 4,000 square foot house alone with no dog.
It did spawn shows for older ladies, like Sex in the City.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Shots fired.
They were younger than you think they were. I just remember when it was on, I was a child, and they thought it was a show about these old women, and Blanche was in her late 40s in the first season.
Yeah, she's old as Daniel.
I'm Blanche.
Yeah, no, I know you're right, because we all think same thing with like Cheers and stuff. Like they go,
Oh God,
you see
Ted
this,
Dancer was 75 years old the first season.
On social media, you see like going back and they put the age of like actors from old sitcoms, and you always think they're older than they are when you're a kid. But even like, so Golden Girls, I started looking at it too. Like their season finale had 27.5 million viewers, which, by the way, if there was any show that had that many now, it'd be the biggest show in the entire world. Like, because like it's so, like there wasn't less to watch back then. But like that music is iconic. Like it triggered me to have an emotion when I hear that, because as a
seeing
kid,
you guys in the outfits, seeing the
there's so much
set
nostalgia.
that you guys have. Yeah.
There's so much brand nostalgia attached to
Yeah,
it
of
that
course.
like everybody has memory of this, which is unique. And I feel like future generations, like 50 years from now, no one's gonna have memories of shows now, because everybody's watching
There's
different things.
too much.
Too
There's
much.
too
yeah.
much, and there's 8 episodes of it, and then maybe it comes back, and maybe it
Yeah,
doesn't.
right.
Maybe there's 5 years between. It was appointment television. Like everybody that I knew when I was younger, we all met at my grandmother's house, because of course we all lived on the same block in Leesburg. But we all met at Granny's house every Saturday night, and we would sit down as a family and watch this. And honestly, these 4 women are the only people that could unite my family. Since it's been off the air, none of us have spoken.
I was telling Tom this, that the Golden Girls show, when I went through it originally watching it with my family, also did the thing that sitcoms used to do, not so much anymore, but they would handle big topics of things that I didn't want to talk about with my family. And it was one of the first shows that did teach me as a little bumpkin boy in DeLand, Florida, about LGBTQ plus it was handling AIDS. It was handling things when other shows were not handling. But the cool thing about it was my dad and I, he's just a Southern guy. He had things that he thought, but it wasn't like he accepted what we learned and we moved on from. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it wasn't
because they
like,
never beat you over the head
no,
with it.
it was
made
well
you laugh.
done. Yes,
It didn't hurt that the 3 of the actresses were coming off of, not recently, but were coming off of Norman Lear projects, like Maude and All in the Family and whatnot. And
Super smart.
They were able to sort of transition some of that. The audience knew when they saw B. Arthur, they knew that when it was a B. Arthur type, they knew they were going to get some of that political sass.
Sure.
Do you think it also helped?
And the voice. You can do the voice so good. My God.
Oh my God! Thank you so much.
It gives me goosebumps, man. Like, that's so good.
One of the most fun things for us as a cast is of course, they applaud every time any one of us enters. They love us. And yeah, the three of us are great. But every time Divine enters as Dorothy, first you get the visual. So you hear the audience go, oh, then she'll open her mouth to talk. And you can hear them all going, oh, she just sounds like her.
Yeah, you almost have to give like a break for that, right?
Oh, absolutely. We have to build it in.
Yeah,
right.
because like I was watching a video of you guys for the Mercury Theater residency that you were, or the shows you were doing there.
Yeah.
And I saw you slip into the voice, and that's when I hit him up and I go, oh my God, dude, this is like just like you don't think about that being that important, but it's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Like it takes you into the show.
There's
and the sets you guys do and the costumes. So tell me about that. How do you pick all the iconic gags and things that they did? How do you decide what outfit, what look, what vase, what lamp, what couch?
Gidget doubles as our costume designer for the show.
So we're constantly on the search for vintage sweaters and giant floral for Blanche and
and I'm plus size, so really giant floral for Blanche.
lots of turtlenecks for
Tom, may I suggest Tom's house is filled with seashell. Remember when it would be a shell? And then it would be like a glass shell, but then you fill the glass shell full of real shells, and then put a lamp in it.
Oh yeah, that's what every redneck does to their bathroom in Florida is make it beach themed.
When most of us could just kick out the braces and drive our house to the beach if we wanted to.
Absolutely.
And then we have a great set designer, Bob Silton, out of Chicago, and every time that we step onto the set, we're home. We feel like we're stepping right back into our home.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
The set at the Mercury in Chicago, we watched him build it in how many days did he? I mean, painted the floors and everything.
We put the whole show together in Chicago for the residency in 5 days. Yeah. And that included like the last new script that we did, all the costumes, all this stuff. So as we're working in the rehearsal space, we don't really know what's going on in the theater. So we'd come in every couple of hours, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, we're there a little bit more. We came in that last day, and he had painted the floor and done everything, and it really looked like we had stepped onto the set of the Golden Girls.
So cool.
Mm-hmm. And he somehow managed to translate that into a portable set that we now take with us here, there, and everywhere. And every single review is like, yeah, the costumes are great and the folks are great, but when you walk into the theater, the first thing you see is that set, and it feels like you're there.
Even if we have the ability to put a house curtain down, we never do. We always set the lights so when you walk in, you are walking.
You're there.
Because
when you're here, you're family.
I think it's important, though, for people to see that, like through this interview, hopefully, how much time and effort you guys put into all the little things to make people's, experience when they go and see this that much, greater,
Well, I think anybody who was with us at the beginning when we were doing this at the Parliament House, where we had a futon that was the couch and the bed with a slip cover, we had 3 wall pieces and a card table and thrift store clothes, and we somehow turned it into something that was really fabulous. And now you come and see what we're doing 6 years later, and you can tell that every single penny that we get from ticket sales goes directly back into the production. We're not making millions off of this. We're not even breaking even most days. We are investing in making this bigger and better for everybody, particularly for the Orlando community.
That's cool. I love it.
During your, I'm sure you guys went back and researched some Golden Girls before you did this, obviously. Is there any episode, did they ever jump the shark and do anything weird throughout the seasons that we don't? Okay, what are some of the things? Because nothing sticks out.
Now, was the spinoff of Golden Girls Empty Nest?
Yes.
Well, that was one of the spinoffs. The direct spinoff was Golden Palace. Yeah. Oh. And that's because Rue McClanahan, Betty White, and Estelle Getty wanted to continue playing these characters, but B. Arthur was like, no, I'm out. I'm done. 7 seasons was enough. So she left, and they sold the house, and they moved into a hotel, which the facade of the hotel is actually the one that was the facade of the Birdcage in the movie The Birdcage.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's just so iconic. Every time we drive down to Miami, it's there and we see it. And it feels like we're kind of coming home, you know? But it didn't work because there's something so magical about the four of them together. The only time Golden Palace really worked was when B. Arthur came for 2 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And did they, during the actual Golden Girls series, was there any, did they ever touch on a bizarro topic that you're like, what the hell? Why? like if they,
I was trying to remember.
Like, did they ever have like some weird guest on the show?
I like the ones where they were trying to figure out, like, I like the ones where you thought there was an element of danger.
Yeah,
I like the ones where
Rose being chased through the parking garage.
I like those.
Okay,
yeah, or like the person where the guy that they're dating happens to be like they're trying to snoop and figure out if he's a murderer or something. Like,
he's got a knife in his suitcase.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
or the fact that Rose managed to kill 2 men, giving them heart attacks while they were having sexy time together.
Right.
Oh yeah.
To me, like one of the strangest, most fever dream episodes ever is the one where Sonny Bono just randomly pops up, and there's also like Dorothy dates this guy from Beatlemania, and I mean, it like there are a few of those moments, but the thing about the Golden Girls is they could get away with doing all of that really crazy stuff because everything else was so grounded in reality.
Yeah.
And I think that's also why all of us are still tuning in to watch it all these years later.
I have a lot of friends.
One of the crazy parts about this show is it's one of the only shows that doesn't have a show Bible where this is the age of their sons. This is how many husbands they've had. This is what they're married. You know.
It was done back in the day when people like you watch the episode once and then you move on and you forget about it. You couldn't just rewind it, or you couldn't go watch it whenever you wanted to.
You're not deep diving on the creating backstories with it. Now everything.
Children.
Well, so it's like Blanche. You know, we actually poke fun at this in our show, our new show. Blanche has either 4 or 5 sons. Their names change all the time. She had a daughter named Rebecca who was played by 2 different actresses. One was plus size and one was like super tall and thin and supermodel. And they just gloss over it like, oh, hey, yeah, good to see you again for the first time.
I like how back then
this is a better idea. Just go with that.
Exactly.
They're like, this is all throwaway. No one's ever going to go back and cross-reference the Blanche's other, you know what I'm saying? And then it turned into that iconic, like almost like a piece of history where people are studying it, and we're like, hey, this is a weird thing. And then at the time, they were just like, oh yeah, next episode. Like, who cares? Like no one's gonna look that deep into it.
As somebody who has studied the episodes, I urge either of you, both of you, to go in and try to make sense of the layout of the house. Makes no sense. Sophia's bedroom is clearly in the garage.
Sometimes Blanche lives on the lanai. Sometimes she lives in the kitchen. None of it makes sense. There's actually a really cool YouTube series out there where they take all of these old classic sitcoms. Like Full House is my favorite one that they've done, and they show you why these floor plans do not work, and they break it down room by room. Like, it's really interesting to watch, and we've watched all of those as a cast just to kind of figure out what kind of comedy we can wring out of that.
Sure, yeah.
It's like the Winchester house. It doesn't link. There's a staircase going nowhere.
Yeah. There's a door with, it's all boarded up.
You know, you brought up something, Ginger, about you watching Golden Girls with your entire family, and it is kind of a shame because I think about this a lot.
I don't have a show like that with my daughter and my wife.
Well,
we had a couple. We had Matlock.
Yeah.
We had Golden Girls.
Mama's Family.
Oh,
so I always tell people.
Rules.
I always tell people when I play Blanche, I'm really channeling my mother because that was my mom down to the haircut and the gold bamboo earrings.
So cool, man.
But as a family, our family was a lot more like Mama's Family.
Yeah.
But it, like
we had a lot of screaming.
I'm thinking about like my stepdad
hollering.
a Florida construction worker
yeah.
would never choose Golden Girls as a show to watch if he had an unlimited choice on the internet, right? And so, of course, no one's. But then because there was only so many choices and Golden Girls came on, he was forced to watch it and forced to be exposed to something different.
And he probably enjoyed
you know what I'm saying?
it. And he
so
liked
was,
it.
so was our entire society because there was only so many choices. So there was a lot of people that normally would never pick a show about 4 old ladies that live in Miami, but there are 4, and then it was better for them. It's better to be exposed to stuff you don't necessarily pick. And now we live in a society you only pick what you're interested in, and that's a sad state of affairs where you're never exposed to anything new.
It's kind of an interesting point of what I was saying with my dad. Like, I don't know if we would have ever sat down as a family and watched a show that was tackling this particular issue that it was. But because they did it and they did it well, we were forced to grow as a family. You know, it was like a good thing. You know, like I don't have that right now with my daughter because she's stuck in the iPad. She's missing in there somewhere. I don't know where she's at.
Or just being exposed and hearing the perspective of 4 old ladies. You would never, there's a lot of people would never be like, I'm gonna choose to listen to 4 old ladies and comedy and never be exposed to it. And
but what was
I know.
What's so interesting about those 4 old ladies is that I think it also showed people that they could be dirty
and
they
funny.
could be funny and they could be progressive.
Yes,
they weren't stuck in time. They were changing with them constantly.
Yeah.
And
they
I
would
think
show
that's
you that
still
side.
so interesting.
Yeah, they would show you the side of the person not changing, and they'd be like, well, that's very judgmental.
Yeah.
You can't be like that. You need to be better. You need to grow. And
but
then
we
be
don't
in
talk
there.
about Barbara Thorndike.
Or what was the one episode, because I was researching it, and I remember this one. It was her friend came, she had just been widowed, but she was really gay.
Oh yeah, Gene.
That was originally
Gene.
That was originally played by Doug Bowser, and it was absolutely
bless
right.
Doug, man. I love me some Doug. Really?
So Doug was an
missed
original
that.
member of our company. Doug would play Stan, and then literally everybody else. And it's been really difficult to fill those shoes because Doug was just so one of a kind.
One of the funniest human beings on the face of the planet.
Ever.
Like I still say that the Japanese woman doll that flew across the stage at Parliament House is still to this day the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I thought I was gonna vomit cry. I couldn't stop laughing.
And that's how it
Fearless.
was
He
to
was
work
fearless.
with him all the time.
He was nuts.
Because
I loved it.
we never knew what was going to happen or what was going to come out of his mouth or what he was going to look like when he turned the corner.
He came out playing the lesbian interest, Jean, looking like baby Jane Hudson, because he played Clayton in 2. We did 3 episodes back to back.
We used to do actual episodes, and now we've transitioned into writing original scripts.
That's cool.
Well, I got kind of bored, honestly,
Sure.
because I'm the writer and director of everything we do. So I got kind of bored just kind of transcribing things. And I went, okay, let me try something new. I'm going to go to YouTube, and I am going to watch like the 10 most iconic moments from Golden Girls. And then I took my favorite 5 of those, put them together, and then wrote an original story around it. And it works. So now that's what we do. We give people like the Rocky Horror moments that they want.
I love that.
Because everybody wants to go lesbian. Yeah,
because you want to participate with the show and the iconic stuff.
We also want to keep it fresh too.
Yeah.
So we always call it the Lost Episodes, and it's just so funny to watch Doug Bowser come out in the shortest shorts. It's not what we gave him.
No, of course not.
It is not the costume Gidget designed for him.
Cut them off.
He cut them off until they were Daisy Dukes. And then hiked them up. No underwear. I'm just kidding. This was Parliament House. It was a very different place.
He went hard.
And then decided he was going to forgo the robe and just wear a sports bra.
That's fun.
That was Doug.
And it would destroy.
It would destroy. But if any of the rest of us tried to do it, they'd look at us like, what is happening? What's going on?
Well, again, and this is the perfect, Mother's Day weekend to watch the show. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 1 show a day, correct?
1 show a day.
Yep.
Snag your tickets.
And you can get your tickets at goldengalslive.com. Guys, thanks so much
Yeah,
for
we
coming
appreciate
Thank
you.
you for
coming and
having
talking about it.
us.
Oh, we'd love to do it again. Like, let us know when you got more to promote.
Yeah.
And, you know, you might see us there.
You know I've always got things to promote.
I'm going to talk to my wife. You may have found what I'm doing because it's up to her to pick.
Great gift idea.
Yeah.
It is a fabulous gift idea, and we've actually gotten a lot of messages from people saying, I'm flying my mother in from Kentucky so we can go together.
Nice.
My mom and I are driving from Pennsylvania to come and see you guys. So
That's awesome.
it's become a little bit of a tradition.
We'll get them tickets, y'all. Thank you guys for the time.
Thank you. We love you.
And we will be right back. Awesome. Thank you guys. That was, so
That
good.
was just awful.
That was so good.
What the hell was that all about?
It sounds. If I'm not looking at you, that's ridiculous, man. What an impression.
I just got to find out what.
Let me say that. Where's that going, T? Thursday?
Adrian, I thought you were brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for doing that.
Thank you.
Thursday 1. Gotcha.
I went to acting school, but I also chain smoked for 30 years as an alcoholic.
That sounds like something that she would say.
It's,
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, yeah. Let me just save this real fast because I get psycho about like
Divine.
files.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell them when you and Adrian first met and she asked you, well, our first read through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first rehearsal we had, because actually my first question when they called me was, who are we gonna get to play Dorothy? You can't fake that, you know what I mean? Like everyone else can kind of be, you know, you can do your liberties with them, but be Arthur's be Arthur.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
She was already big before the show even was a thing,
Right.
you know?